Hi guys, welcome to Seas and Screens, the channel where we dive into the deep waters of film and storytelling. Literally, the fun part, I give ChatGPT my ideas for what I want to explore this week, and it writes the script for me. I get to react, share my thoughts, and discover the magic of these topics right along with you. So let's see what it came up with this time. Let's dive in. So yesterday Ian showed me a trailer 28 years later, and after watching that trailer it was just mind-blowing to me because from the beginning to the end, although it's just a 2-minute trailer,
Boat, 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 moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. Men go mad with watching them.
I want to go to the movie theaters to watch this movie. Imagine a world where time hasn't healed all wounds. 28 years later, a long-awaited sequel to 28 Days Later. I've watched 28 Days Later, but I haven't watched 28 Weeks Later, and now 28 years later is here. I mean, at least the trailer is, and it is haunting. I mean, today we're diving into the eerie tones, the evolution of rage virus, and how water plays a chilling symbolic role in this dystopian nightmare. Let's get into it.
Moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war.
So, the 28 series has always been more than just another zombie horror franchise. Danny Boyle's 28 Days Later gave us a horror glimpse into the world devastated by the rage virus. It wasn't just about survival, it was about how isolation and fear could dismantle the very fabric of humanity. Yes. I have watched 28 Days, and I remember the first time I watched it, I was in high school, and that terrified me. That scared me so much. I'm not like a zombie or, like a virus fangirl of these type of movies, but the background music that they used in this trailer is just very haunting and taunting. And they used a poem. Ian showed me that the background music is actually from a poem in the war, during the war. A soldier who was marching his way to his destination and wrote down this. It's very psychologically terrifying. After 28 days later, then it came 28 weeks later, which ramped up the tension and broadened the scope. It was faster, grittier, and explored how attempts to rebuild often come with catastrophic consequences. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that movie 28 weeks later. And now we have 28 years later. Nearly 3 decades have passed since the outbreak. And this film asks a terrifying question. What happens to humanity when survival becomes all-consuming?
Seven, 6, 11, 5, 9 and 20 miles today. 4, 11.
Here's where things get really interesting for this channel. Let's talk about, ocean, seas. In the 28 years later trailer, water is everywhere. If you've seen the trailer, you probably seen a few scenes that there is flooded cityscapes, relentless rain, and first glance it's just part of the post-apocalyptic setting, but think about what water represents here. Water is life, but in this context it's isolating. It cuts survivors off from one another, traps them in desolation, and might even serve as a carrier for the virus. Yeah, can you imagine if the virus goes into the water? That's scary though. Everyone will die. I mean, unless you find out a way to drink water without the virus, or someone invented something that it won't go into your water system. Continue. It's nature reclaiming its space, and it's a powerful metaphor for how survival often comes at the cost of connection and community. One thing the 28 Years Later trailer excels at is tone. From the overgrown ruins of cities to the bone-chilling screeches of the infected, it's clear this world hasn't healed, it's adapted. Did you notice how they moved? There's a terrifying precision to their actions now, almost as if the virus had evolved. I mean, right now, if any zombie movie is not evolved, how they act, it's kind of like not a really good zombie movie. Could this mean the affected are becoming more than just mindless monsters? Yeah, if you've seen the trailer, I think they mutated. You could tell, like, huge big monsters. Zombies. That's terrifying. And then there's a human element, the glimpse of survivors banding together in fragile communities. Barbed wire, makeshift shelter, and desperation etched on every face. It's a stark reminder that in times of crisis, survival is often as much about fighting each other as it is about escaping the infected. Here's something I love about this franchise. It leans heavily, not me, ChatGPT, it leans heavily on practical. That heart-pounding chase scene with the affected, likely real actors sprinting at terrifying speeds. And about those water scenes, the opening sequence were reportedly filmed in a massive tank to create a flood dystopian cityscape. It's giving me Titanic vibes, but with a much darker twist. Practical sets like these add a gritty realism you just can't get with CGI. Okay, so this part I don't really think ChatGPT really said it that well, because I watched a video. I'm gonna put that video in the link down below. Of there was a part where the YouTuber mentioned about how the water scenes are resonated to isolation. Maybe you can isolate it's like the quiet place where you can isolate the people, but also maybe you could trap people, but maybe you could also trap zombies. So
here I feel like the water is more symbolic to the opposite of escape, and that's like the whole purpose of this movie, is because that
we're trying to escape from a fear or from the virus, but you can't. And water is a really good way to show that part of the movie. I don't know if you know what I mean. Yeah, so with its haunting visuals and deeper themes, 28 Years Later promised to be more than just a zombie movie. I hope so, fingers crossed. It's a story about evolution of the virus, of humanity. Fingers crossed, I really hope so too. Like, ChatGPT, you're putting us in a very high bar. However, this is just the trailer. It just came out. I have my own opinions. And yeah. And all of the very world we inhabit. I agree and I also disagree. And as someone who loves dissecting these elements, do I count? I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Yes. So what are your thoughts on this trailer? If you haven't watched it, please go watch it. I'll probably put the link below too. Do you think the sequel will live up to its predecessors, or are you wary of what's to come? Let me know in the comments, and I'd love to hear your theories and predictions. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Next week, we're going to dive into another topic of movies and ocean. Keep your eyes on the horizon and your wits about you. Alright? That's a pretty good ending line. Yeah, just let me know your comments down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.